To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
You have failed this city.
So I have this thing with rolls?
Just the end of the world.
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
You're the boy from the circus.
I started up a security firm.
Finally, a superhero team I can actually get behind.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, November 9th, 2019. I'm Little Eddie O'Hare.
And I'm Sara Netzley, academic by day, writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And hey, take a breather, everybody. We only have 6 new episodes this week.
Wow. 6
that'll
new
just
episodes.
Be relaxed. We can be lackadaisical in our pace.
Yeah. This is going to be a breeze.
Or we'll maintain our brisk pace. That's a lie. We don't have a brisk pace. Nothing about us is brisk.
So much happened. There's been a lot going on. Sara, I think you have something special you want to talk about.
Yes! Shameless self-promotion time. Hey, maybe you listen to me on the Moving the Needle pod, as well as, when you catch us every week on DC TV Report, but I mentioned in that, and I think I've mentioned in the past, I write romance novels, and my first book is out this week on Tuesday. So, hey, if you love sexy, sassy, contemporary romance, if you have someone in your life who does, my pen name, Sara Whitney, that's Sara with no H, friends, Whitney with an H. Yeah, Sara Whitney has a new book out called Tempting Heat, Trapped by a Blizzard, Second Chance Romance. Good stuff. Reviewers love it. So yeah, it's available on all the digital platforms. It's an ebook. So Amazon, Apple, Barnes & Noble, all the places. You can always tweet me at Sara Netzley or at Sara Whitney _ I'm bad at self-promo, but I'm very excited about this book. I think it's great. Starts a new series. Ed, I think you need to buy one for all the women in your life. And then if I ever meet them, it would be exciting.
Yes. Yeah, I will get on that immediately. But no, congratulations. That is great. That is awesome.
Thank you. It's a lot of laboring at 2 a.m. trying to get, juggle the podcast, juggle the day job, juggle the writing. There's a lot of stuff going on. So juggle the EW.com gig. But this one is coming to the forefront and I'm thrilled. Somebody asked for my name at check-in the other day and I said, Sara Whitney, because that's kind of the headspace I've been in. So Sara Whitney's making some waves. Cool. All right, here endeth the commercial.
Well, I will tag out a little bit more of a commercial for us. If you want to drop us a line, there's an email option for those of you still living in 1999.
Oh, ouch.
I don't know. I still use it. I still use email. I don't know. Social media scares me.
Do you still load up tunes on your Zune?
You know what?
Wait, is that too early for a Zune joke?
I would if I could. If I could. But yeah, DCTV at wickedtheory.com. We do love to hear from you. You can also tweet at us at DCTV Report. And if you really like what you're hearing and you wanna just help us out a little bit with overhead, bandwidth, and such, we do have a Patreon. We're part of Wicked Theory Studios. It's patreon.com/Wicked Theory. Minimum is $1 a month. You can give more if you want. And if you unlock that, you will get access to a free to another podcast. It's a secret podcast on Patreon called Ed Bonds with Bill. Where me and our executive producer Bill Sweeney watch James Bond movies and talk about them. I've seen them. He hasn't. It's a lot of fun. We just watched Tomorrow Never Dies. So we got our 1997 on, and it was a lot of fun. So go check that out.
I am trying to think if I have seen that one. You could very easily do an Ed Bonds with Sarah after you're done with Bill, because I'm missing a lot.
Oh, Sara, you have no idea what you're missing. That is the one where Jonathan Pryce plays a media mogul who tries to manufacture a war between the UK and China so that he can get exclusive broadcast rights in China. That is his plan. Because he thinks that in 1997 you can control the world through newspapers and radio and television and magazines.
I mean, is he wrong? I feel like this is either a movie I'm going to super love or just be like, nope.
Well, it's
Iris West wouldn't do that.
It's a funny idea, but it's just the way he's hawking old media in it is dates it very much. Newspapers, magazines, radio. I want it all the day, 24 hours a day.
Wait, 24 hours a day? Well, that's madness.
Yes. Elliot Carver, played by Jonathan Pryce. Yeah.
He can do no wrong.
He can't. But I think it's time we turned to DC television.
Yes.
DC Comics. We got 6 episodes to get through. Sarah, you ready to start?
Let's do it. Crack knuckles.
All right.
Toss your neck back and forth.
Here goes. First up is Batwoman. Season 1, Episode 5. Mine is a long and a sad tale. 15 years ago, Beth was held captive by a crazy guy and his son with skin issues. In the present, Kate tracked down Alice and made her tell her story. Jacob and Sophie were a step behind the pair, unsure whether or not Alice was really Beth. Mary learned her mother faked Beth's death and drowned her sorrows with Luke. Last minute reveal, Alice offered Mouse fresh skin and promised they could be together once her dad was out of the picture.
We are dangerously close to Mary being my winner of the week every week. She's a delight.
She's great. So
and Luke this week was also great responding to her.
Yes. How long until Mary and Luke are a thing?
I picked up on that too, and I couldn't remember. For some reason, I was thinking he was gay, or is it just that he reminds me of Curtis because I'm a terrible DC racist? I don't know. We don't have any confirmation either way with him, so I'm allowed to ship them because if so, cool, full speed ahead.
Well,
I thought you were going to ask. Oh, I thought you were going to ask how long before Mary's read into the Batwoman thing.
Oh. Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure if she wants to know. You know, I think that's kind of the. You know, I mean, she will figure it out by the end of this season, surely, because she's going to be part of the team. Because that's just the way all of these.
It just seems like she wants to be Kate's sister so badly that if the longer Kate doesn't tell her, the sadder she's going to be. And I want to protect Mary at all costs, so I'd like her to be read in.
Yes. And I mean, with Luke, I mean, he's just so much in the mold of Cisco, and Win, that I think it's just the kind of thing where those characters, you don't initially think about their relationships and you need to kind of get to know them for a season or two before they kind of move on to that. But yeah, he seems very work-minded. And it was funny just seeing him try to tolerate Mary.
You're right. He does seem like he has no life outside of Kate's beck and call. So that doesn't do great things for character development and personal life type stories. So yes, but that's really not what this episode is about. No.
This is about someone else's backstory. So we got to see how Beth turned into Alice. And yeah, we got to meet Jonathan Cartwright and his son Mouse.
I guess that was worse than I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was dark.
It was very dark. It, yeah, that was that was dark. That was, oh man. But to me, like, the thing that clinched it is not that she was there. It's that Kate and Jacob came so close to finding her. And she didn't scream, and Kate didn't open that door or try to open that door. And yeah.
Yeah, it was well done. Did that take away any of the mystery in a way that you think is going to hurt Alice's mystique moving forward?
I don't think so. No, I mean, if anything, I think it added another layer to it where you realize that, this isn't solely for revenge. I mean, revenge is definitely a part of it, but there is something else that she's fighting for, and that she did have some kind of connection with someone over these years, even if it was someone who is deranged and disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
okay,
yeah, no, I thought it added another layer to it. I thought it enriched the story a bit.
I thought that the acting was top notch.
Yes, yeah, I was yeah, on all counts, except Sophie, because she's just
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not a Ruby Rose hater by any means, but she feels a little more confident. Although she was a little bit more of a cipher in this episode, she wasn't quite as central, which was interesting too. But I thought everybody was really good, apparently, except for Sophie. You're
well, no,
today.
I mean, that character just hasn't had anything to do. And I feel like that it's not her fault. It's the writing, I think, has underserved that character. I think it's one person too much. And you wanted to have Kate have some kind of, lost connection. And I think it's a good idea, but they just haven't fleshed out that character enough yet for you to care about her.
And maybe they will. I guess there's still time in the season. We'll have to see. But her running off on rescue hijinks probably, that's a start, maybe, to making her a little more interesting.
Yeah. Also, I did notice you did not have Kate. I mean, she didn't really suit up this episode.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this was when she had that surgery, if they were holding her back a bit.
Oh, that could be. It is kind of early for them to do a non-Batwoman episode. But it's nice that the show carried it off. I didn't miss it necessarily. I thought it was still interesting TV. So that seems to me to speak well of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if I may, Alice's lair with Mouse, that's so many candles. That's just so many. I always think of the episode of Psych, Scary Sherry, when at some point somebody's like, this is like a lot of candles. How much time did this take you? I had that moment. How much time did it take to set up and light those candles? So many candles. All right,
that's right. Because you need to light every one of those. You can't just flip a switch.
That's what I'm saying.
This is why we have PAs. But it looked really cool.
It did.
All right. Yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything in the episode. Did you have any other thoughts, or was there any news on Batwoman?
Nope, and no news. I'm
right.
Good.
We're moving on to Supergirl. Season 5, Episode 5, Dangerous Liaisons. Kara convinced William to let Alex and the DEO help him investigate Andrea Rojas and her family. Kelly was excited to celebrate her date-iversary with Alex. Lena convinced Malefic to let her test the limits of his mental powers. Last-minute reveal, the woman from Leviathan asked Andrea to help fix Rip-Roar.
I actually have 4 lines in my notes on this show, and that's all I have to say about this episode. Are you ready?
Go.
Number 1, I'm insulted by how obvious it was that Rip-Roar was Russell. The fact that they made that the big reveal insults me as a viewer and as a person with eyes and a brain. Number 2, it's good to know that Lena draws the line at murder. Like, she's a lot of things, but she's not going to straight let you murder people. Number 3, how did Dreamer stop a coast? You know what? Nah. Number 4, do not do virtual reality on a pier. Just don't stand on a pier next to water and do virtual reality. That's so stupid. I did virtual reality a couple years ago in a living room with sofas, and I almost broke my neck. And that was with friends in a small controlled room. There were zombies. They were growling at me in the dark. It was amazing. Those people are like wandering into traffic. That's not how you do VR. That's all I have to say about this episode, but I'm happy to weigh in if you have things.
Well, I mean, that seems to be the point this season's trying to make, is that maybe you shouldn't try to FaceTime and walk on the street at the same time, you know?
I mean, it's also the point comedians have been making since like 2002, but okay.
Well, last season they did immigration. This season they want to tackle technology. So
I'm as shocked as you are that I missed the immigration season. Don't get me wrong. I love this show. I love these characters. This episode was a little silly.
Yeah. I think it was. I agree. I figured out that Russell was Rip Roar. The minute I realized they had the same initials.
Yes. Didn't find the body. Wait, they both have RR.
Oh yeah. That's the guy. That's the guy, right? I mean, it's probably William's probably in denial. He doesn't want to admit it to himself, but everyone else should have picked him.
It makes me think William does not know who Kara is secretly. I thought he was smart. Maybe he was onto something, but nah. I overestimated him, I think.
Yeah. It seems like that. I thought Brainy deciding to use the tattoos to try to get information. I thought that was an unnecessary risk.
Well, I thought the scene was really good.
Yeah.
I thought his acting was really scary and the camera work was like wild.
Yes.
But it did feel like a way to give him something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Instead of just pout about Nia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Brainy was not being very smart in that moment. But I do agree with you. I do think that was fun. Yeah. I think anyone, I don't know. Do you feel like Kelly was being a little inconsiderate with Alex? It felt a bit like, I understand, this is a classic thing in every rom-com where the couple's already married, where it's like, oh, you miss something, or you didn't show up to a soccer game, or to an anniversary dinner. But I feel like, how long have they been dating? And, you'd think, knowing what Alex's job is, that Kelly would be a little bit more considerate. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't mad about Alex missing, and I think they were trying to lean into the PTSD, which, interesting. It's an interesting story, but I personally think Dataversary type stuff is so silly, and that's just from somebody who's been married for 500 years. That the whole thing, I was just like, all right, I guess that's what you do when you're young.
Well, like, to me, I think planning a dinner and making a reservation was not a great idea. The better idea would have been for Kelly to do for Alex what Alex ended up doing for Kelly, which is, surprise her when she comes home to a romantic evening together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if your girlfriend is a secret agent, you'd think you'd just want to be like, let's just chill. Put on our kimono robes. It's cool.
But yeah. And I'm just trying to remember everything you had. Oh yeah, the Nia thing. It's one of those things like, yeah, I guess she can do that because like she can enact her dreams to do certain things, but they haven't really explored that too much on the series. So
her power is just a little squishy. I understand the dream stuff, and I kind of wish they just left it at the dream stuff, but I understand that's not very dynamic in a fight.
Yeah.
So she has all these other kind of unexplained powers. So, okay.
But yeah, no. I thought I actually thought some of the investigation stuff in this was cool. I thought as we were moving along, I thought Kara was very good. I think her dynamic with William, I thought that was pretty good, aside from the fact that, you know, William's an idiot. But I was following along and having fun in this episode. I thought it was a decent procedural whodunit.
I always like Supergirl, no matter how silly Supergirl is. I always enjoy Supergirl, so that's where I criticize, but I do it with affection. I really do like the show very much, and this was no exception.
So yeah, looking forward. Lena, yeah. So Lena and Mal. Lena used the green eyes. Lena has the green eyes. So like, what the hell does that mean?
I don't know. I don't understand how the Inception power is something you can science, but I guess if anybody can, Lena Luthor can. I thought the alien creature hijinks were delightful.
Yes. Yeah, that was fun. I thought that was cool. It was nice to see Phil Lamar out.
Yeah, I was excited to see his actual face.
Yes. Yeah. And I thought they had a good chemistry. And well, I think it's more like Lena's intellect is so smart that she figured out a way to manipulate those powers when he tried to use them on her.
I kind of assumed that she was able to get the powers from him and he didn't know it, but I don't think it matters because it's not real science.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to waste a lot of time worried about it.
Yeah. Either way, it's dangerous. And now I'm ready for like Leviathan to come forward and find out where they fit into all of this.
Yeah, I'm into that.
All right.
Wait, do we know that old woman's name? You're the one who always knows the names.
No.
Okay. I should have texted you because, of course, I was doing the recap for EW, and I was like, "Ooh, have we?" I couldn't find it on IMDb. I couldn't find it anywhere.
I think on IMDb she's actually just credited as Leviathan. So.
Well, and she wasn't even listed in the episode this past week, so I couldn't. It was just not complete. And I watched it early, so that tends to. They have good screeners this year. Yay me! But it means that IMDb isn't always up to date. Anyway,
yes.
Enough about the life of a glamorous recapper in her sweatpants and her Costco slippers. It's like, it's so fancy.
All right. You ready to move? There was no news for Supergirl, right?
Correct.
All right. Ready to move on?
Yep.
All right. Next up, Watchmen. Season 1, Episode 3. She was killed by space junk. FBI agent Laurie Blake dialed up Mars from a blue booth and told Dr. Manhattan a joke. Agent Blake of the Anti-Vigilante Task Force was sent to Oklahoma to look into Chief Crawford's murder. Adrian Veidt tried building a spacesuit using items laying around his castle. Last-minute reveal, Angela's van crash-landed in front of Laurie, who looked up in the sky, saw a red light, and laughed.
I just got the space junk thing. I'd like to apologize to everybody everywhere for being so slow. Can we talk about how great Jean Smart was this week?
Yes, yeah.
When Jean Smart faced off with Regina King, that's good stuff.
mean, this show was already great, but I feel like she just breathed a whole new life into the series.
Like,
Like,
yep.
Like this is,
and Yeah, she did not play around, and it faked me out because we had done the reporting on she's playing an FBI agent, this and this and this, and then she was not an FBI agent. I was like, wait, why is she a bank? What happened? So I guess I'm watching this with the innocence of a babe because I'm just like, what? Oh, fake out. So she's so great.
Yeah.
And yes, break you off a piece of that young FBI agent, Laurie. Sure. Why not? He's a fan.
Well,
or not a fan, whatever.
I mean, I guess at this point we have to talk about that thing she pulled out of her suitcase.
I'm gonna let you start.
It was blue. And it was rather large. Toy.
Is their name for it there, Ed?
It was a blue. It was a blue dildo.
Or, as friend of the pod, Tanya Melendez refers to it, the Dr. Manhattan 3000, which I think feels right. All the news this week is about that scene. Every piece of news about Watchmen. It was well thought out. The round protrusions on the bottom are vibrating devices that attach. So that's a thing. Per the show canon. It started off as kind of a throwaway joke because Lord knows Damon Lindelof loves a dick joke, and it just kind of went from there. So, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, but there was other stuff that happened in that show.
And actually, in all seriousness, the more I think about it, the less I like it from a character perspective, based on the comics. Because, and I know this is not a watch and compare podcast, I know, but Laurie hated when John disassociated from his humanity in their sex life. She hated that. And so, I felt like she had moved on and she had this other relationship with Dan, and it felt like kind of a weird regression for her character. And I don't know what the character's been through in the intervening years, of course, but it almost felt like a throwaway joke that has more to say about her as a person than maybe they intended to, or maybe everything they do has intention. I don't know. Anybody out there who's read the comics, if anybody feels the way I do about that, let me know. I just felt like funny. It was really funny, but what does it mean for the Laurie that we knew in the comics? Laurie wouldn't do that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah. I mean, the real question that I'm asking here is, what happened to Dan? What happened at Night Owl?
That is, I feel like Owl in a cage probably means something.
Yeah, she has that pet owl, and Senator Keene makes reference, like, if you go to Oklahoma and fix this, or if I become president, I can let your owl out of that cage. So I'm guessing that means that Night Owl is in prison.
That would be my guess. And I feel like justice for Dan.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve that.
He's a good guy. Like
yeah. Oh man. and it's funny, that scene with her. I mean, those scenes with her in the phone booth. That joke that she tells, which is a variation on the classic brick joke. Sara, are you familiar with the two brick jokes?
Honestly, no.
Oh, okay. This is one of those old fogey jokes. I guess it probably dates back to like vaudeville or something. So the first joke goes exactly the way she tells it, with the bricklayer and the daughter. And it ends with her throwing the brick into this guy. The second joke is takes place. Sometimes it's a train, sometimes it's an airplane. But it's a completely different story. About two people are on a train. This old lady with her small little white dog. And there's a guy sitting behind her smoking a cigar, and the train's very crowded, and all the windows are closed, and the cigar smoke is making the dog choke, and the old lady begs the guy to put out his cigar, and he says "screw you" and just starts puffing harder. And it gets into a fight, and the old lady opens the window, grabs the guy's cigar, and tosses it out of the train, and then he in turn takes the poodle and throws the poodle out the train. And they're so anxious that the old lady pulls the emergency brake and stops the train and runs outside, and she finds the dog, and guess what the dog has in its mouth? The brick.
The dog has the brick.
Yes. So yeah. That's the very. I thought that was clever.
You were the person.
So yeah, but the thing I really thought was Laurie Blake is a really good FBI agent.
Yes.
Yeah, she.
If I'm murdered, make sure Laurie Blake investigates my death, please.
Yeah. She's she didn't go into retirement. She decided to play ball, and like she is really into catching vigilantes and stopping them. So when she gets to Tulsa and finds the whole mask situation, she is not into it. And yeah, I thought her interactions, I thought you were right. She did challenge Angela, and it's going to be interesting to see what their dynamic is going forward.
Well, and it was an important, it opened up the world a little bit, and we saw a little of the political machinations, and James Wolk's character seems interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he is not going to become the president. How do you challenge President Robert Redford?
Well, you wait for him to retire. Or you do what he's doing, and he's showing that he's law and order. With this mask program, he's just trying to get national recognition and moving up. I don't know if he'll succeed, but I think he certainly has a fighting chance. And today I think helped him a lot. This episode I think helped him a lot.
Well, it does raise his profile, certainly.
Yes, yeah. All right, you ready to talk about Ozymandias?
Did you expect him to go full Ozymandias?
I thought that was great. Yeah, I'm glad that we finally got to, it was finally confirmed. We kind of knew this all along, but they finally confirmed it. He said his name. We saw him play dress up. But the real thing that's interesting, you see him doing all these sketches, and he's just grabbing random, stuff from around the house, the suit of armor, the glass over the display, and trying to build a spacesuit. And yeah. Do you think he goes and kills another buffalo when he goes hunting?
I'm still shook by his dropping a whole buffalo with one arrow. That was impressive. I forgot that Ozymandias is actually like really good. Like he's a fit, intelligent, perfect being. He's a lunatic, obviously, but yeah. I say more buffalo are gonna die.
Yeah,
I think the gamekeeper is not gonna keep that from happening.
And like, where is he? Why does he need a spacesuit? How did he get Mr. Phillips? I don't care how. I want to know how long that rope was that he was able to get into the upper atmosphere before he froze to death. Like what's
the some of the, as I was reading up on the shiny blue phallus in the briefcase this week, there also was some Ozymandias talk, and they described him this season as sort of Wile E. Coyote, which is not a tone I expected to get from this show, but it makes sense. And I have some thoughts about where he is, but I'm gonna let the listeners just like marinate a little bit more before we start slinging that around.
Yes, I thought his tete-a-tete in his correspondence with the game warden was hysterical.
Uh-huh.
That said, I'm glad you liked the tomatoes. They do look like.
I mean, it's like it's Wile E. Coyote. It's him and whoever else checking in and checking out. It makes really good sense when you think about it like that.
Yeah. So like the questions are now, where is he and who is this game warden? And what's the deal? Because I mean, we know he's being imprisoned. We know he's in captivity. So what kind of prison cell is this?
And the world, I believe, thinks he's dead. Yes.
Yes, that is true. The world thinks he's dead.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like how we just get these, like, you know, we just check in with him like 3/4 of the way through every episode.
Yeah. Well, gotta know what he's doing. He's tricky.
Yeah. But still no connection to the rest of the story. Yeah. Did it take it out of you that we didn't get that much with Angela this week?
Oh, I was so pleased with the Jean Smart stuff, with the Laurie stuff, that it didn't bother me at all. And they had that dynamite scene together, so I was incredibly satisfied by this episode. Kind of like Laurie. Okay.
All right. Any is there anything that we haven't covered? I feel like these episodes are so dense.
Yeah, this is a tonal shift for us.
Mm-hmm.
When we this, I thought the music was great this week. It was a little more melodic and a little less aggressively Nine Inch Nailsy, but still really fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the reminder that Ozymandias is so extra, so extra. So yeah, I'm good. That's what I needed.
All right, and there's no news for no. I mean, we just about the
nothing else to report.
Just about the blue thing. All right. All right. Our next episode.
Also, we're all familiar with Dr. Manhattan's like endowments. We've all seen them. So
yes.
That's optimistic. Okay. All right. Moving on.
All right. All right. Our next episode is The Flash, Season 6, Episode 5, Kiss Kiss Breach Breach. After Barry and Iris went on vacation, Breacher visited Cisco and told him Gypsy had been murdered. Caitlin met with Ramsey Rosso. Joe and Nash Wells found themselves trapped after an underground tunnel caved in. Last minute reveal, Nash told Joe he knows a way to save Barry.
I cannot believe they actually killed Gypsy.
Yeah, right?
I kept thinking they were going to undo it or something. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was intense. That was, I was surprised. I was very surprised about that. But yeah. I mean, you know, Cisco's all about Camilla now, and you know, they sort of said "I love you." Love how he almost said it twice, and then the second time it was just like, yeah, you know, me too. Like just,
I am still so not feeling that relationship. I guess they're trying, but like, is it because we know the greatness of Sue Dibney is just off stage?
I guess. No, but I thought this episode, I thought Camilla was very sweet, and you know, you could see that she cares about him. And yeah, it reminded me a lot of, you know, the way a lot of my nerdy friends and their girlfriends are. So I related to that dynamic. And yeah, so Barry and Iris decided to take a vacation to Tahiti out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think Iris should always wear her hair natural, and Barry should never again wear a baggy Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. But
I guess you had to get him out of the way so Cisco could try his AI.
Yeah, I I find it a little refreshing that it's like, no, we know we wanted to focus on these couple characters, and rather than try to shoehorn in a fourth storyline for Barry, they just kind of put it to the side and let Cisco take center stage for an episode. I thought that was cool. I thought we got to see Danny Trejo come back. You know, I don't know if this will be the last time we see him, but yeah, I thought he was great this episode. You know, and this was another one I liked the whodunit aspects to it. And everyone was talking about faith this episode. That was just like every storyline, and I feel like that's fine if you want to do that, but I think it was very ham-handed the way that they kept bringing that up.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this season, but it has been ham-handed throughout. I mean, like last weekend, I commented on Barry's self-sacrifice, his selflessness versus Russo's selfishness. They're kind of shoehorning in these things, but that's fine. They're, you know, it's what they do. It's fine.
Yeah, and I think for Joe and Nash Wells, it made sense, like for them to be under, and Joe's just kind of like, hey, have faith. I trust my team. It'll work out. But I thought the way that it came up again with Camilla and Cisco and with Caitlin and Ramsey, that didn't feel genuine. That felt like, okay, we're just gonna bring up this word because it's the word of the episode.
It's like Jesse L. Martin elevates everything he touches.
Yeah.
Also, sweaty, angry Indiana Wells in a tank top.
Oh, you were into that?
Yes. What about our acquaintanceship says I would not be?
Oh, is that a thing?
Again, I'm liking this Wells a lot. He's not perpetually grumpy. He's pretty grumpy, but he's got motivation and he's not a jerk about it. He's just trying to do it, and he's not goofy. I really like this Wells. Yeah. I like this Wells.
Yeah, I think.
And when you pair him with Joe, who's the best character on the show, it's just magic.
I thought those scenes were magic. I think this Wells is cool. I think he's going to get us all killed. I think he's cool.
But is he going to be shirtless and like sweaty when he does it? Because
I'm just saying, Barry pulled the Doctor Strange, where like he said he saw millions of outcomes. He saw every possible outcome that could happen. And he knows that the only way to stop this is for him to die. So Nash trying to do whatever he's going to do, someone should tell Barry, and Barry would be like, bro, I know what's going to happen if you do that, and it's going to kill us all. The only way to stop it is for me to die. So, yeah, I figure that's probably what the next episode is going to be about. But I want to know now what Nash has against the Monitor.
I feel like the Monitor obviously killed somebody close to him, right? This is a vendetta. This is a personal thing. So I think he knows enough to know that he's no good. He destroys people. He destroys lives. I got to punish you. Does that feel right?
Yes. And we'll talk later on another show about how exactly he's doing that. But yeah. I think it's interesting that he's encountered the Monitor before, and I'm waiting to see Crisis kind of like seep into the storyline more. Even though Ramsey's the big bad, and
is he? Is he? Though?
I mean,
I know he is, but
yeah, he's the big bad for the first half of the season. But he was also kind of short shrifted this episode.
Yeah. That's my point. I think he's the least interesting thing in an episode of Interesting Things. So,
did you enjoy his conversation with Caitlin?
Yeah, I anytime they give Caitlin something to do, I like it. I'm pretty simple like that. But yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I mean, you got to see, and it was Caitlin, not Killer Frost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering,
which makes sense because they have that connection,
Yeah, yeah. So I'm, surprised that she knew to switch places. And yeah. Now they've really confirmed that Ramsey's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yes.
I'm glad we can all agree on that now.
All on the same page.
Yeah,
Everybody's good.
Yeah, and we could focus on stopping him.
With hopefully
all right.
the minimum amount of guilt. Because,
yes.
Caitlin's going to feel guilty. That's what she does.
Yes. All right. Was there anything more to talk about with Flash?
I don't think so. This was a serviceable little episode. Just like the whole season is just kind of, it's good. It's there. It's good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Moving on to Arrow. Season 8, Episode 4, Present Tense. Mia, William, and Connor found themselves in 2019 and did a terrible job not telling Oliver and company how much the future sucked. Grant Wilson and the Deathstroke gang blew up a hospital and threatened to attack Star City's rich. Last minute reveal. The Monitor appeared to Laurel and offered to bring back Earth 2 if she betrayed Oliver.
They really are bad time travelers. I guess they weren't preparing for that, so it's not like, it's not like they are intentionally being terrible time travelers, but they're terrible time travelers.
Yeah. It's well, I think Curtis got there too late to say, hey, I've seen Back to the Future, so here's the whole time traveling, don't tell people about the past stuff. Yeah. And, so they're still there in the present. They didn't go forward. So I'm guessing that they're going to be sticking around.
That seems like a good assumption, yes.
Which is nice, because those flash forwards were getting, ugh.
Well, and, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they have just changed the future, have they not?
Yeah. Theoretically, yeah, they changed the future. So, maybe 2040 doesn't suck so much now.
Also, am I mistaken? Didn't the showrunners last season tell us that's a fixed future? I swear they did.
I believe they did, yes.
So, maybe they did. It's classic time travel. Like, you think you fix things, you've actually made them happen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a trope. That's a trope for a reason. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be. I love this episode. I'm so sorry. I sound grumbly. This was a great episode. This was emotional. Stephen Amell made me feel things. This was a good episode.
Yes, I agree as well. I actually think the thing that would have changed things is if Mia had killed Grant Wilson. I think that's actually something I wish that she'd gone through with.
Really?
Yeah, because I think that would have guaranteed, okay, the future's going to be different now. Now it could go sideways, it could go in a completely different direction. But yeah, I don't know. I think it would have made her relationship with Oliver a lot more complicated.
I think that harkened straight back to season 6 with his whole, I like killing a little bit too much. And so you saw why he'd be like, no, not for my kid.
Yeah. Oh, and what's funny is, like, we talk about how each episode is sort of nodding to a previous season, and they skipped season 2. This was the episode where they kind of harken back to season 2, where Deathstroke took over the city. So yeah, except this time it's the Deathstroke gang. Yeah, and so yeah, but they caught Grant Wilson, who at Molly 2910 pointed out is the same actor that played him in the Legends episode where they went to Starling City in the future.
Which I did not notice, and I'm glad she pointed that out. That's very cool.
Yeah. So who are we gonna talk? Which relationship you want to talk about first? You want to talk about Renee finding out Zoe's gonna die, or Connor telling Diggle that his son is going to hate his guts.
Let's do Renee first, just to kind of, get it out of the way.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I feel like they kind of cornered Mia and William, and were like, "Hey, tell us about the future," and they told them.
And they were like, "No, seriously, you guys don't want to."
Yeah, but they spilled the beans way too easily.
They really did.
And yeah, and like the whole like Renee running for mayor. We have established that like really nobody wants that job. So there's probably not a lot of hoops for him to jump through to get on that ballot. Am I correct?
I feel like you are correct. Like everybody signed because they were like, I mean, do you really want this? I guess. Here's my signature on your petition, whatever. But like, good luck.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Curtis should shave the beard?
I like the beard. Leave the beard plays.
I don't like the beard. I don't know. I don't think it works for him. But that's just me.
I liked it, but yeah, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Renee's really angry that Zoe's dead.
Oh, Renee is angry. What a novel thing to get to watch. Yay.
Yeah. Him bugging out, and him getting all weird towards Diggle because like he was killed by Diggle's son.
I mean that's awkward with your friends.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing, he was the one who really kind of like came out and said, "Let's make our own future." And I will be interested to see if that comes to pass. I guess we'll know in like 5 more episodes. Yeah.
That's the nice thing. We don't have to wait until May for this to pay out. We're gonna get it immediately.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Diggle and Connor.
Poor Connor. Hey, Dad. Dad, what's wrong? Hey, Dad.
He's not your dad yet, and now he might not want to be.
Be cool, man. God.
Yeah, I thought that was very awkward. But a lot of fun. And he's definitely gonna want to include John Jr. in those training sessions. I mean, do you like go home and immediately tell the kid you love him? Like, is that how that works?
I assume. I don't know.
I mean, like the Irish Catholic in me says you go straight in and you smack him around. Like, how dare you go up,
don't do that.
You're not going to become a homicidal maniac on my watch, you stupid.
It does seem like you would want like a parenting manual. How to parent your time-traveling super genius? Supervillain? I mean,
One message, one tweet we got that did spark a lot of good discussion was from @TanyaMel. Arrow and Flash were so good tonight. Tight writing, accelerated plots, characters not relying on miscommunication. I wonder if the reason is having to write for Crisis. If so, does that imply the CW shows would benefit from shorter seasons?
I have been ride or die for short seasons for a while now. I agree.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, and I think Flash has the right idea where it's like, you could just split it in 2 and just treat the fall season like it's its own season. You don't need to drag things through to the spring.
Yeah, I wish Flash had done that sooner. I still prefer like a 12 to 15 episode season. I think that's great. And maybe it's just I'm not podcast fatigue. That's never that. Mm-hmm. But there's so much filler when you get those 24 seasons or episode seasons. Yeah, I think the writing, they have a clear goal in mind. They have a certain amount of time to do it in, and by God, they're going to get us there. And even things like the Ramsey the blood work stuff. It feels a little on Flash, a little like we're spinning our wheels. Let's get to the big stuff. Arrow is so directly full speed ahead at the Crisis. It's great. It's got great momentum. Obviously, you can't do the Crisis every season, but we are benefiting from it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. I think that's the way to go. Now, Laurel. The Monitor sucks. He's a real jerk. Like,
he is.
He's putting Oliver through the ringer, making him leave his family behind, then bringing his kids there from the future to yell at him. And now he takes Laurel's side and goes, I can bring your Earth back if you betray him. Which I don't think is true. I think he's bluffing. I don't think...
Yeah, I don't know. What's his deal, man?
I mean, evidently he sees the big picture and he knows that certain events have to happen in order to, give him a good shot at beating the Anti-Monitor, and it involves all this double dealing. So yeah. Now the thing to do is not to help Oliver, but to turn Laurel against him.
Well, look, I've just started tolerating Laurel, so tread lightly.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out. Maybe next week. Maybe not.
Well, the most important part of the episode for me, of course, is Oliver meeting his grown children.
Yes.
Those scenes were fantastic. I loved him with William. I loved William's coming out scene. Incidentally, Ben Lewis, who plays William, he's the one who suggested they put that scene in because William wasn't able to tell his dad, before everything went down. And so the actor, who also is gay, said, hey, what if we did this? And they let him, and it was beautiful. I thought that scene was just a standout for the series for me. Oliver, you don't get to see Oliver soft all that often, and it was lovely. And trying to reach his daughter, and she doesn't want anything to do with him. It's so sad. So, I just loved all of it.
Cool. All right. All right. Let's break down Arrow news. I know there's a lot.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we have the 2-hour finale date is January 28th. We're going to have an hour of retrospective and kind of look ahead at the finale and this and that, and then 1 hour for the finale. So mark your calendars, January 28th, we say goodbye. Some good news, I guess. Roy is back. This week's episode, Roy is back, so that's exciting. And Paul Blackthorne is coming back for multiple episodes. So, yay. Please don't give us some weird alt version, just give us Corporal Lance. That's all we want.
Yeah.
And then the last bit of news, Stephen Amell shared on his social media an image of him in the Green Arrow suit saying basically one last time. So sounds like he was suiting up as Oliver Queen for the last time this past week. End of an era, Edward.
Oh man, I'm going to miss him so much.
He's going to be in that wrestling show. It's okay. Okay. We're going to see him again.
Okay. All right. All right. I gotta get stars now. Damn. I think I have stars. Yeah, I have stars. I don't have Cinemax. That's right.
Wait, do we have DC shows on Stars? We don't, do we?
No.
Okay.
No. Not yet. No, Stars is Sony, so I don't know. I don't think so.
Good
but
point.
all right. Ready to move on?
Yes.
All right, our last episode for this week, Titans, Season 2, Episode 10, Fallen. Dick went to prison and found himself sharing a cell with 3 Latino gangsters planning an escape. Rachel ditched Donna and made a new friend at a soup kitchen. Gar found Crypto and Connor and tried to hide them from Cadmus. Last-minute reveal, Mercy Graves informed Walter Hawn of changes at Cadmus and her special plans for Gar.
Well, we got to see the tiger. That's good.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Gar finally got an episode. I feel like he's gotten more character development in this episode than he has like, the rest of the season.
Accurate. Yeah. This episode was fine. It was fine.
Mhm.
Dick was served with some real swift justice.
Well, when you when you beat up a TSA agent at an airport, there are cameras everywhere, and you plead guilty, there's really no sense in standing on ceremony. They could just,
I guess save the court's resources and just toss him in.
yeah. I mean, he's going willingly. He didn't put up a fight. Didn't seem like I definitely did not hire a lawyer.
I'm just sad we missed the scene where like Bruce sends a fancy lawyer and Dick's like, no, I don't want this. Or I do want this.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what he told that one prison guard who was trying to give him special treatment. It's like, no, I want this. It's like, okay.
No, you don't.
But yeah. I thought that was interesting. That he could see their escape plan from a mile away.
Yeah, I did like that.
And we saw sort of a maybe a hint at his next identity, with Al Azul, that drawing that Luis was writing in chalk on the wall.
That is supposed to refer to Raish, right? I mean, like, that's...
Well, I think he was just talking about the big bird that was going to protect everybody.
Okay. All right.
So that's sort of the hint that that symbol is like a dead ringer for Nightwing's crest.
Okay. I was hung up on the Al Ghul part and was like, wait, is this going to be more training or is this like, what is this? So
no, it's Al Azul.
Oh, of the blue. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I think it's one word.
I'm going to stop then with the word entirely. I'm going to stop putting meaning on it. It's fine.
I think it's just a type of bird.
Okay, can we pivot then and talk about how Eve really should have been in this episode?
Yeah. I mean, and she should have been in the last one too. Like, I don't understand why it makes no sense for her to leave Connor at the tower alone, even if he is unconscious.
Because if she's on the run from Cadmus, they can protect her at the tower. It's silly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gar kind of screwed that up.
Well, I mean, if Eve had been there and needed protecting, maybe they would have left more than Gar. No offense to Gar.
Yeah, well, and also Eve would have told Gar, "You are not taking him out on the street."
Bad idea. Veto.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I hope it's not that they just didn't want to pay that actress for another 2 episodes.
I bet it is.
But yeah, I have a sneaky suspicion that they just didn't want to pay that actress for another 2 episodes. We got to know a little bit of Mercy Graves' home life. What'd you think of that car ride?
She is no fun. She will not let you stop and go to the bathroom on vacation. I promise you.
Yeah, and they are playing a board game when she gets home.
But I bet it's Monopoly, aka the worst board game.
Yeah. That's the one with yeah. I think that is the highest percentage of flipping the table.
Well, it goes on forever. It's not rewarding. It's not hard. It's a bad game. Bad game.
Yeah, very easy to create enemies and.
I mean, you can create enemies in a lot of games, but do it in a better game. Like cut somebody's throat in a like Year 5 treaty backfire on Axis and Allies or something. Risk 2210. That's how you make enemies. Not stupid Monopoly. I'm sorry. Continue.
So yeah. Mercy Graves, angry mom. But yeah. Gar. I don't know why he's trusting them. I want to know what she means when it's like when she wants to help him become a Titan. if she's going to try to round up all the other Titans. What does that mean? I mean, he was watching Wizard of Oz at the end of the episode. Does that mean something? What's going on?
I'm done finding meaning in things because I'm not doing well with this show, so I'm going to leave that up to you.
Okay. And Rachel.
Yes. Making friends at school, sort of. Kind of.
Yeah. I don't understand why she ran away from Donna, why she's not keeping Donna in the loop. And she made a new friend named Danny. And like straight up ended up killing Danny's brother. Or whoever that guy was.
We all make friends in different ways.
Yeah. Raven is so dangerous. Like, I don't even think she understands like how, I mean, that's the one thing I feel like we've spent so much time flashing back and looking at the veteran stories that I completely realized that like the main focus of the first season was Raven.
But it wasn't on her powers. I mean, I feel like I don't understand how dangerous Raven is. They haven't really given me a scope on that, and I kind of wish they would. Mm-hmm. I love the backstories. I love the history, but they've left some enigmas in this younger generation that are a little lacking, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's because of how awkward the ending of last season and the start of this season was. I think they just kind of realized that storyline wasn't really working. But like, it's time that they should go and have her explore her powers more, because she is a really cool character, and there's a lot of stuff that you could do with her. And I'm hoping that this storyline kind of brings that out a bit more. And she understands exactly what's going on and how to channel her powers.
That would be nice.
Yeah. So I think Donna probably had the roughest time this episode, because like Gar, no one was answering her calls, and she had to go to two brutal crime scenes. The last of which was at Titan's Tower, and like no one is keeping her in the loop. I'm sure she's very confused. So yeah. Someone give Donna a hug. All right. Anything more you wanted to talk about with this episode? Anything you think we didn't cover?
No. I hate it every time Connor tries to white fang Crypto. Quit trying to make Crypto leave your side. Yeah. He's not gonna leave your side.
Yeah, no. Ride or die, bro. Ride or die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically all I got.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any news for Titans?
No, nothing for Titans.
All right, on to news for other shows.
Okay, Legends of Tomorrow, we've got a premiere date, and that is Tuesday, January 21st.
Yay!
Mark your calendars, and while we're here, episode 10 is called The Great British Fake Off, so start your Mary Berry Soggy Bottom jokes.
Ooh.
That's for a very specific type of listener. I don't know how many there are that crossover.
Yes. Yes.
So that's it for Legends. Moving on to I was gonna say Canaries.
Canaries music.
But Ed, you're telling me that's not it?
Well, I've seen some news stories refer to it as Green Arrow and the Canaries.
So I hate that. I guess is Mia is she gonna wear the hood? Is she gonna be the Green Arrow? If so,
I mean,
cool.
She already has the bow, so she's like halfway there.
She's got the accessories. She just needs the costume.
And now that she's met her dad and realizes, he's so cool that, maybe she'll put that on. Now remember, in the Legends universe, it was Connor running around with the green costume.
Oh, that's right.
So there's a couple of different ways that they could go with that. Okay, I'm still not in.
Well, so anyway, that's not the news though.
Okay.
For this is that Charlie Barnett is going to be a part of that backdoor pilot that they're airing. So JJ is going to be part of this Canaries, Green Arrow and the Canaries, Canary Arrow, Canaro, whatever show.
Well, I mean, if everything holds, I would expect him to be the big bad of season 1. Sure.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's a show we're still gonna have to watch.
We don't know yet. It's a backdoor pilot, right? So we will see the first episode before Arrow ends.
And the CW does not always go forward on backdoor pilots. Supernatural's tried a couple, for example. Although I think Greg Berlanti maybe has more luck. We'll see. Moving on to The Sandman. Hey, Netflix is already planning season 2 for The Sandman. So that's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, the article I read, Neil Gaiman said they haven't actually written any of the scripts for season 1 yet, but they've started outlining season 2. So
that is some confidence. But Netflix does that on occasion.
Yeah,
so.
I believe they actually gave them a 2-season order. So that does make sense.
We call that the reverse Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Too soon?
Yeah. But the good news is Neil Gaiman did say that the first season would pretty much be preludes and nocturnes and a couple of other stuff. So, and this is another one like Watchmen where I feel, and I've only read about half of Sandman and it's amazing. But go back and read that stuff. It is the most imaginative, some of the most imaginative fiction that you could come across, and every storyline is completely different. So I can't wait to see how they approach this show.
That's the one where when I say, I should read that someday, I really, really mean it on that one. I really need to read Sandman someday.
Yeah.
So.
All right. That's all the news?
That's it. Yeah.
That's all the news.
Long recaps, fast news.
All right. So finally we're up to our winners of the week. Wow, it was a big week.
And we don't just mean the contents of Laurie's briefcase. I'm sorry. I'm not over it.
Well, I mean, that leads me to my winner. So I guess I'll go first. My winner for the week is Agent Laurie Blake. I said it before. I think, I mean, this show was already awesome, but I think she injected it with so much new energy. And there's a whole other layer to the cake here. I feel like I just kind of took another bite and found the strawberry cream that was in the icing. And it's oh my God, there's so much here. And that it's a direct connection to the comics. And yeah. I'm 100% more excited for the show.
Yeah, that's concur. My winner of the week is going to be, it's loose and it's not very good because honestly, Laurie Blake's kind of my winner of the week too. I guess evil doppelgangers or people who sort of wear a familiar face. So you had Brainy on Supergirl with the tattoos going all alien evil. Mm-hmm. You had Cisco and his evil alt-Earth compatriot who was fantastic.
Echo, yes.
I'm gonna stretch and include Mouse on Batwoman, who wears a face that is not his own.
Well, also he can he does those impressions.
There you go. I was thinking literally faces, but yeah, he does impressions. Yeah, I'll take it.
He's a vocal mimic. So.
Thanks for helping me stretch that. And I tried to do something with Arrow and different person under the Deathstroke mask than you expect, but didn't really work. So my winner of the week is not fully baked, but it is some sort of evil doppelganger thing. Laurie Blake. My winner of the week is Laurie Blake.
All right, so the winner of the week is Laurie Blake. Oh, Sarah, we did an episode.
We did.
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. That was great. That's a DC TV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Little Eddie O'Hare. I'm
at Sara Netzley, SaraNetzley. And if you're looking for that romance novel, Sarah Whitney. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Amazon, all the vendors. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Cool. And follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Report. Send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister show, the Wicked Theory Podcast. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer, Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam!
Shazam!